Hello everybody, this is Ryan's quarterly sprint video for the collective experience team in the Breaking Boundaries SIG. Kevin and I had a great quarter and we learned a lot and built a lot of stuff, and I'm going to kind of walk through how our team was formed and sort of what we were interested in and how we went about building things this quarter and where we're looking next. So the team was formed around an interest in collective experience applications that revolve around people having similar experiences in time, space, ideas, objects, events, or life. And we were interested in the properties of these experiences and whether we could create some sort of framework or engine that would allow us to rapidly generate applications revolving around these experiences, or even something that would be able to run many of these experiences in parallel. So we started off the quarter building YoStar, which you're all familiar with by now. And that was good, especially for me. I didn't have any Meteor development experience, so I kind of got up to speed with Meteor, which is what we thought we would use for the larger project. And we built that and tested it with all of you and had a great time. And also learned a lot about what, from the technology side, goes into building a real-time app. So there was, in terms of YoStar, there was real-time geolocation. We were plotting everybody's coordinates on the map as they moved around, and we created lobbies, multiple lobby system, which is something that could apply to potentially a lot of other experiences. And we built that and sort of learned from it, and then when we were done, we set YoStar aside and sort of turned our focus to the second half of the project, which was building some sort of framework or collective experience engine. And that's where we're at right now. And so as we look forward toward winter quarter, we are sort of almost through the architecture stage and really into the development stage of this collective experience framework. So we've identified several components that we'd like to sort of modularize or make into Meteor packages. The first one of which, Cerebro, is a user query engine. So for lots of these applications, it's helpful if you can quickly and easily figure out the subset of your users that might be interested in a particular experience or that a certain experience might be relevant for. So if you have lots and lots of users, they have different attributes. Some of them have dogs, and some of them have cameras, and some of them go to the park, and some of them go for runs in the morning. And you can store all these attributes, things that are permanent, things that are related to their location or a certain time, and you can put all of that into their user profile object. And then when you want to have an experience, you can query your users to find the subset that match the experience that you're interested in. The issue is that these queries with Mongo get sort of complicated, especially when you start talking about, we want the intersection of several different sets, or we want the intersection of these two groups of people and the union of these other groups. The object that you have to create to pass into Mongo ends up being very complicated. So I've created a Meteor package that abstracts away that process of writing the Mongo query so that you can just write down in a simple object form the parameters that you're interested in, and then this package takes that, reformats it in a way that Mongo can process, and passes it in and spits back to you all the users that you need. So this package is actually on Atmosphere right now. Here's me on Atmosphere. Here's my Cerebro package. And it's not very complex right now. It's just this query transform system that takes in the object and transforms it. But what that does is it allows you to, instead of writing all that complicated Mongo query stuff, which involves a lot of nesting, you can have a simple object like this. And when you read this, it's really clear who you're looking for. You want their profile to match any of these fields and all of these fields. So they're going to have a dog, they're going to have a camera, their age is going to be more than 20, and they're going to work for one of these companies. And you don't end up with the multiple nesting and kind of ugly other things that come with writing out the actual Mongo query. So that package is working. It's online right now, so if you want to mess around with it, you can. But I've also built a demo app that shows the functionality of this package. And right here we have the demo user query engine. We've got several users. They all have different parameters or different attributes in their profile. And with these buttons here, we can filter the users. Right now we're looking at the whole list, but if we click one of these buttons, it'll filter this list by just the users who match that parameter using the user query engine. And it'll also send a little notification just to the users that match that thing. So like over here we see here's all notifications. Right now there's no notifications. We're not signed in. If we sign in, then all notifications will become my notifications, and we'll only see the notifications that are going to that specific user. So I'm going to sign in as myself right now. Log in, and there we go, there's my notifications. And we're going to send a notification to people who are at least 21, people who can legally drink, and tell them to go to the bar and get a beer or something. So I'm going to send a notification right there, and as you can see, the list filters, and I'm no longer in that set. Everyone else is over the age of 20, but I'm not, and so I don't get that notification. It doesn't show up over here. If I were to sign out, we'll see that, in fact, in all notifications, there's the notification, go to the bar and get a drink. And if I sign in as someone like Kevin, then we can see in his notifications it's sitting right there, go to the bar and buy a drink. Now we can send another notification. Let's say users who have a dog. We want to tell them everybody needs to pet their dog. Everyone's going to pet their dog right now. So we click that, and we can see that Johnny Bravo and Houchy are the only ones with dogs. Kevin doesn't have a dog, so he doesn't see. He just sees the first notification he got, which was go to the bar and buy a drink. If we sign out, there's pet your dog, and if we sign in as, let's say, Johnny Bravo, he's over 21 and he has a dog, so he got both of those. And that's a simple demo of the user query engine, passing in a simple object and getting back just the users. The notifications are only going out to people who match that query. You can do more complicated ones like the one I showed before. So this is people who work at certain companies, have a certain age range, and have other attributes, have access to a camera and a dog, and you can query those and it'll work in just the same way. So going forward, this package, the Cerebro package, is going to grow to include things like user management, so the login system, setting up user profiles, the Meteor methods that allow you to add parameters to a profile. So you want to be able to update for any given user what their states are, what their attributes are. That's all contained in the Cerebro package. We'd like to be able to log people in efficiently. We had auto login for Yostar. You just put in your name and clicked a button and you were good to go. To have permanent attributes, obviously there needs to be some sort of authentication, but we'd like to keep that process as minimal as possible. The lobby manager is functionality that we built in Yostar, so we know how to do that. We know how to support multiple lobbies, but that just needs to be sort of modularized. There are some experiences where you would want lobbies, some where you don't. Location engine is something that Kevin's working on. That's another thing that comes out of Yostar, and that revolves around situations where you need to get everybody's location and do something with it, and it kind of takes away the annoying process of dealing with the Google Maps API and sort of the setup of that, and allows you to just get the locations and do what you need with them. Time engine, as far as timing goes for games, usually games are run under time if they're happening synchronously with everybody. And then we have other engines that are going to sort of allow you to scaffold out these experiences as rapidly as possible. So going into winter quarter, we're going to wrap up sort of the first couple engines that we've started, and then also I'd like to build out a notification engine. When I was looking at doing this demo app, there are several packages on Atmosphere that do notifications, but there aren't any that do user-specific notifications or make it easy to send notifications to a subset of users. And that's a big thing, especially as we look toward sort of running a bunch of experiences in parallel. We need to be able to notify certain users of the experiences that are going on. So that's another thing that we're looking at going forward. As far as next quarter, we're going to be building out this system, and then towards the second half of next quarter, we'd like to run some studies or basically try and produce some sort of research based off of this. That's the recap for Ryan for the Collective Experience team in Breaking Boundaries. It's been a great quarter. Thanks to everyone who played Yostar with us earlier, and we're looking forward to the winter.